What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex and in today's episode I'm going to try and figure out why my supposed 302 horsepower 4.3 liter V8 powered 1999 C43 AMG, wow that is a mouthful, is so freaking slow. Now if you tuned in for the last video with this car, then like me you're probably wondering why it performed so poorly. It lost a few races to a 221 horsepower V6 E320 that was having some transmission problems, although it was a very weirdly modified E320 to say the least. No! No! Are you serious? It was also only able to produce an average 0 to 60 mile an hour time of 8.5 seconds. Now, all the magazines back in the day rated the 99 C43 as a low 6-second car to 60. In the drag race video against the see-through car, I announced that I'll be installing a Zex nitrous kit on the C43. Now, many of you guys expressed concern in the comments section that maybe this wasn't the best engine to be spraying a bunch of nitrous through, and maybe there was an issue with the engine which would explain the serious lack of performance. Now some of you guys commented that your mom's V6 Accord could take out the C43 in a drag race, which I guess you're probably right. But to put my mind at ease, especially before spraying a ton of nitrous through this engine, I'm going to perform a couple of tests and document the results. First up, I wanted to make sure that we had the proper amount of fuel pressure making its way to the engine. So I hooked up my fuel pressure tester to the port on the rail and I started the engine. Now, factory specifications is anywhere between 54 and 61 PSI, and as you can see, we are well within that range. I also wanted to make sure that we weren't losing any fuel pressure at wide open throttle, so I taped my gauge to the windshield and I went wide open throttle. The needle didn't move at all. With good fuel pressure, next was a compression test. I pulled one spark plug per cylinder. Remember, this is a dual spark system. I disabled the fuel and I connected the gauge. When you perform a compression test, you want to be very consistent, so I cranked the engine for 8 seconds each time with a warmed up engine and a battery charger connected. I wrote down my measurement after each test so that after I'm done spraying many bottles of nitrous through this engine, we can perform the test again and see if I've caused any damage. That is, of course, if this thing doesn't just blow up, but I don't think it will. I hope. I did this on each cylinder quickly as to make sure the engine was the same temperature, and I made sure that the battery was always at a consistent voltage. After testing each cylinder, I found the engine to be in perfect condition. Factory spec is between 11 and 13 bar, or 159 PSI to 188 PSI, and there wasn't much variance between each cylinder, so we are good. With the engine and the fuel system checking out perfectly, I also scanned the C43 for trouble codes, and although it had a ton of them, none of them had anything to do with engine or transmission performance. So what gives? Why is this thing so slow? Well, I think part of it is because of this airbox. So let's head over to my other two Mercedes-Benz AMG cars and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you guys follow my channel, then you probably recognize these two bumperless AMG cars. This is of course my 2003 E55, and what I wanted to show you guys are these plastic air intake tubes. They run from the airbox where the air filters are located to the very front of the car. An even better example would be my 2005 C55 AMG, as this shares basically the same naturally aspirated engine with a very similar air intake box. Now, as you can see, the tubes run all the way to the front, and this forms a true cold air induction system. Mercedes-Benz has been using some form of cold air induction for the last couple decades on many different vehicles, including non-AMG cars. And the way that they have these tubes situated is most ideal, as this is the coldest possible air that could be rushing into your engine. The C43 currently has probably the least ideal air intake system, as we have a super hot exhaust manifold right below where the air is entering the airbox. Now, this is how this car came. Obviously, this thing is kind of a basket case, but hot air is a horsepower killer for a few reasons. First of all, hot air is a lot less oxygen dense. You need oxygen to make horsepower, and also the higher air intake temperatures will trigger the car's computer to pull valuable ignition timing and dump a bunch of fuel in order to prevent detonation. So what I'll be doing, the only thing I'll be doing to this car is adding a cold air induction system. Victory Road Performance was nice enough to send me these super shiny cold air intake tubes with a silicone coupler here and down there. I have another one for that side as well. And although it's not factory, it will serve the same purpose by sucking air in from there. So I'm going to finish up this other tube, and then we're going to run this thing 0 to 60 again and see if we've made any difference. All right, guys, we're just about ready to make our first 0 to 60 pull in the C43. And just like I said, the only physical change I've made to this car is the addition of those super shiny cold air intake tubes. Now, something that I think is going to play an even bigger role in this test is the ambient air temperature. When I raced the see-through car and when I was averaging about 8.5 seconds to 60, it was 95 degrees out. Today, it's only 86. So let's go make a pull and see if this has made any difference at all. That's 30. That is 60. 7.26, not too bad. All right, I'm gonna try and launch this thing a little bit better, but we are already way ahead of the game, guys. That's 30, that's 40. That is 60. 7.25, so basically the same, guys. So we've lost over 1 second because of a 9-degree difference in temperature. If you're like me, you probably got a lot of things going on in your head right now. The first thing I thought of was, sweet, we knocked off 1.2 seconds from our previous best 0 to 60 time, but on the other end of the spectrum, we're still about a full second away from what all the journalists rated the 99 C43 at back when it was new. So what gives? What's wrong with this car? Well, honestly, I don't think that anything's wrong with this car at all. In doing a little bit of research, I found out that magazines like Car and Driver and Road and Track use a weather correction program. Now, they're using practically the same exact device that I'm using to test 0 to 60 time. I'm using a V-Box Sport, and they use a V-Box Sport as well, made by Race Logic. It's a GPS-based performance data logger. It's very accurate, and it's kind of considered the standard in performance testing. A weather correction program is very similar to a dyno. It levels the playing field so that numbers are the same no matter where and when you test. I'll link a really cool article down below. It's from Car and Driver, and they state that when they do 0 to 60 testing and other performance tests, they use a weather correction program that corrects everything down to 77 degrees and 0% relative humidity. In my eyes, this test is not complete just yet. I want to know what made the biggest difference. Was it the lower ambient air temperature, or was it the cold air intake? Also, I want to know if my 99 C43 can go 0 to 60 just as fast as it did when it was brand new. Now, I think that it can, and you guys saw the engine compression test. This thing is in awesome shape, and we already knocked off over a second from its 0 to 60 time today. Now, I don't have a fancy weather correction program system or whatever Car and Driver uses, but what I can do is wake up at about 6 o'clock in the morning when it's supposed to be in the mid 70s and perform this test again. So we're going to be running the car just like we did, and then I'll remove the intake tubes to see if that makes any difference either. So for me, this is going to be a new day, but for you guys, it's going to be right now. What's up, guys? It's a new day for me, same day for you guys. Sorry about the sunlight. It is just coming out. It is 6:26 here in Chicago, and check it out, only 73 degrees. Now, we have a 73% relative humidity today, but we are a little bit cooler, so I think these test results will be very real world. Without further ado, let's go for our first run. And I've changed nothing. I even went and got a few gallons of gas, so we have the exact same amount of weight and everything. Let's do this. Got a little bit of tire spin there. Feels good. We're at 40, and we're at 60. Let's see, we got 6.82. Yes, we are getting there. All right, I'm gonna try a better launch. bit of tire spin. It's a good sign, right? And we are at 66.84. All right, so pretty much the same. All right, guys, I let her cool down for a minute, but it is getting a little bit hot out. Let's see what happens on this run. Come on, C43. Spin 30 and 60. 6.87 again, guys. This thing is dead consistent. It is heating up and it is very, very humid out. So I think that's the best we're gonna get out of it with the cold air intake. So let's rip off those tubes and see what we get now. All right, guys, the tubes are off and this is just a few minutes after that last run. It is heating up. I think we're already at like 80. So at least these two tests will basically be back to back so we can see the difference between the intake tubes. So let's do this. Kind of feels the same, I'm not gonna lie. And we're at 60. 7.1, all right, so a little bit slower. All right, again, no intake tubes. Let's try this once again. All right. Feels the same, that's 60. 7.13. I gotta say, if anything, the C43 is super consistent. So what do you guys think? Comment down below. I have no doubt in my mind that if it was a lot less humid today, we would have produced 0 to 60 results that more closely resembled the low 6-second range that all the magazines were testing these cars at back in 1999. And I'm definitely gonna be spraying this engine with nitrous. It seems to be in perfect condition. And we'll also be retesting 0 to 60 when it's a little bit cooler out and bringing the car to the quarter-mile drag strip to see how it runs with and without nitrous. Now, we all know that hot air negatively affects almost every single car. My 9-second Trans Am will run mid-10s in the summertime. The E55 last year was off by about a half second as well because of the temperature. But what really surprised me was how drastic the difference was with this naturally aspirated 4.3 liter V8. We're talking about almost a 2-second difference to 60. Just imagine what that would have translated to in the quarter mile. To go along with that, the cold air intake, or lack thereof, made a massive difference as well. 0.3 of a second to 60 would again translate into a much worse quarter mile time. Comment down below also if you've performed a similar test. I know that a lot of factory cars are coming with performance data loggers. You guys are using your cell phone. Some of you are using the V-Box Sport like I am. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have seen such drastic differences depending on the weather. I know I see a lot of posts in the forums where guys get all bent out of shape with horrible 0 to 60 times in the summertime, and usually there's nothing wrong with their car at all. It's just that the weather sucks and engines need cool air and low humidity. Check out that article down below from Car and Driver. They go more into the weather correction program and how turbocharged cars are corrected differently than supercharged and naturally aspirated cars. With all that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out. If you're new, consider subscribing, and if you've been around for a while, thank you so much for the support. I hope that everybody has an awesome day, and I'll see you all in the next video.